Hi there, everybody. Lene here with Interview Like an Expert. For the past several weeks, I've been working with individual clients as well as my group on interview preparation. Preparing for interviews is one of the best things that you can do for interviewing success. And today I'd like to speak with you about a very specific framework or methodology that you can use for answering a specific type of interview question, and that's a behavioral interview question. So today we'll be talking about the STAR method for answering behavioral interview questions. Now, as a reminder, behavioral interview questions are questions that sound something like this. Tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a coworker and how you resolved it. Or tell me about your top two or three professional successes. They're typically questions that are asking us to recount specific situations or experiences and tell the story of those situations or experiences to our interviewer. And these questions can sometimes trip people up because they don't have stories top of mind. So, one of my first recommendations to you is to prepare a few different stories that you can use in behavioral situations, such as a few success stories and a few challenge stories, challenges that you were involved in your professional experience. So now, when we're asked a question that might be a little bit situational, like, for example, tell me about a time when you had a conflict with a client, when you didn't meet their expectations, and how did you resolve the situation? Now, this happened to me as a young account executive in my career, so I'm going to answer with my experience here and use the STAR method to answer the question and illustrate for you what this would sound like. So, S is for situation. What was the situation? I would say the situation was that I was a young account executive. I had just been promoted to one of the top retail territories in our company, and I had just made a trip to visit my counterpart at one of my large key accounts. She and I had a meeting, and she asked me a lot of questions, and I was so new in my job that I didn't have all the answers for her. I made notes about what she asked, and I assured her that I would get back to her. But by the time I got back to my office in Chicago the next day, I had heard she had already called the management and asked to have me removed from their account. She was absolutely dissatisfied with our interaction and felt that I wasn't qualified or capable of handling her account. So that's my situation. So, what's the challenge or the task, the T in STAR? Well, now the challenge is that I needed to win back her confidence and win back the confidence of her company and demonstrate to them that I was more than capable of handling their business and managing their account at the highest level. So, the action I took, well, I made sure that from that day forward, everything I did was done with the utmost of care, that any request that this account made of me was expedited, that any information I sent to them was accurate, and I served as a great resource for their business. And I made sure that I demonstrated that I was on top of their business every single day. And the result was that I built a 2.5 year relationship with this company. They enjoyed great success in Chicago, and I enjoyed great success in my world. And we really came together. And that beginning that we had was really just a very small blip on a much longer term relationship that was much more positive and productive. So there you have it. Isn't that a nice story? It's got a nice beginning, middle, and end, right? The situation, the challenge, the actions, and the result all flow together. And that's really the key when you are answering a behavioral question. I want you to think about keeping those details to a minimum. Try not to get too lost in the details because it can be overwhelming to your interviewer. By using the STAR method, you can create a nice, clear, concise answer that tells a compelling story about whatever you are asked about. So I hope that this review of the STAR method is helpful, and I hope that you use it to great success on future interviews. Thanks for being with me today. And until next week, bye for now.